Then execute. And let your emotions become your greatest weapon in the war for your future. Step 5. Design a legacy built around your strengths. You weren't built to fit in. You were built to create something that lasts. Your mind is different for a reason. So stop playing small. By now you've reframed your identity. You've
Working
aimed
on
your
a
clarity.
product. Hold on.
You've built systems that honor your wiring. You've mastered the waves of your emotional state and turned them into propulsion. But there's one final step that separates the restless from the legendary. You must use your unique wiring to build something.
It's good that you asked, because I can go ahead and explain what I'm doing at the beginning of this video,
your intensity will turn in on
so I don't have to do it later.
You weren't meant to survive day to day.
Alright.
You were meant to create, conquer.
Now, if y'all don't already know,
Just to manage ADHD.
I have
You're here to leverage it into impact.
ADHD.
Something real. Something that screams, I was here.
I don't use any medication to manage it other than marijuana.
That turns hours into minutes.
But over the years, I developed systems to help me stay on track to get things done. And it's taken years to perfect my system. And my system, it uses a lot of different techniques from different walks of life. Most of it comes from Hermeticism. You know, it's almost like the law of attraction. Everything is mind. What you focus your mind on,
what can I talk about for hours and never get bored?
You end up
What
getting.
problems do I see in the
So,
world that no one seems to notice?
This system is kind of similar to a vision board. If you've ever heard of a vision board, that's basically a sheet or a board that you put things on that you desire, and you put it up somewhere, and when you're constantly looking at it, like throughout the day or throughout the week or throughout the year, you will start to manifest those things by attraction, just by focusing your mind on it. But the key to it is putting it out in the open so that you're constantly being reminded of what you're seeing. Well, I took that idea and focused it on product design or projects or business ideas. So basically, it's a vision board for your ideas. And this is a kind of like a rough draft of it. The hourglass, of course, signifies time. No time to waste. This is my no time to waste logo. That's like my motto. No fucking time to waste. Like, you really have to maximize your time. You can never get back the time. I look back, I'm 48. I look back on all the years, all the time that I wasted. Could have been doing something productive, but I wasted it.
Don't force it. Outsource it. Automate it. Eliminate it. If you think it.
Anyway, I think back on all the time that I just wasted a shitload of time. Whether it was wasting it in relationships were going nowhere, or wasting it doing things that wasn't productive. So some people learn over time. Some people just continue to do the same thing. I'm not that hard-headed, so I kind of start to take heed after the same thing starts happening. So I've developed a system for getting things accomplished, even with an ADHD mind. One thing about having ADHD is, there's times when I get an explosion of ideas. I may get 5 or 10 ideas that like $1 million ideas in one day. And then, I may go, a week or two with no ideas. But when those ideas start coming, they come in a storm. Um, and ideas aren't shit unless you act on it, put some action behind it. So I always journal, and I write down my ideas. And I have a system that I use with sticky notes that helps me keep up with ideas. I've got notebooks everywhere. I'm like the copious note taker. I'm looking for the one book that has. Oh, this is one of my notebooks. This is actually my journal, my personal journal. But I will separate portions of my journal with sticky notes, so I can go to it. This was a new journaling style that I started a couple of years ago. Let's see. Anyway, just, I'll talk more about my sticky note system a little bit later. What's up, goofball? Anyway, this is my rough draft of the Manifest Destiny Vision Board. Here in the center, that's your focus. This is your today section. This is your week section. This is your month section, and everything up here. As I get things to do, I'll write each individual thing down on a sticky note. And I have a notebook that I keep up with those sticky notes. And when they're, once they go on this board, it's action time. Once it gets on this board, it's going to get done. It may start up here, but eventually it's going to filter its way down to today. I try to keep this limited to 1 to 3 tasks per day. But once they go through here, then they go to the finished section. Along with this board, there are individual sheets that I fill out every day that helps me stay focused and on track with what it is that, the project that I have planned. Some of those pages that I have are okay, this is my Project Destiny sheet. This is one of the projects that I'm working on, which is the workspace, living space studio. I'm downsizing my workshop. Actually not downsizing. I'm creating another workspace in a smaller area. So the shop that I have, it's like 5 miles from here. It's about 2,500 square feet. I'm going to take the most important tools that I need and build a workspace studio in the basement. And this is all for my other channel that I'm it's called Think, Build, Sell. So if you could, please go check out Think, Build, Sell on YouTube. Like, subscribe, all of that good stuff. I just crossed 1,000 subscribers a few weeks ago. So that's a big milestone. Now I got to get my watch time up so I can start getting monetized. Okay, anyway, this is the Project Destiny sheet for my workspace living studio. You got the objective, which is to convert the basement into a workspace studio with living space for me and Bootsy, this guy right here. Which one? Okay, and it's got my project operations, and it lists everything out. Okay, along with the board, there's a daily destiny worksheet, and this is more of a private thing. This this is where the spiritual with the physical starts to meet. Um, you know, it starts off by giving thanks and gratitude. Um, you know, if you're a spiritual person, you know the power of gratitude. Just to be thankful for what you do have, and you know the opportunities that you have. That sets the groundwork. That sets the groundwork for success. Um, is to be thankful. So the daily destiny worksheet starts off with physically writing down 3 things that you're thankful for. It is an absolute must that these, you know, this is a hands-on project. There's, you know, it's very little typing something into a computer or typing something into your phone and hitting save and then it's lost with the other 1,000 files that are in your phone. No, we need visual, tactile brainwashing. Basically, I'm brainwashing myself. I'm using the same tactics that advertisers use, radio, TV. I'm using the same tactics that they use to capture the minds of individuals, and I'm using it for my good. You know, I've reverse engineered what they're using for bad for my good. Okay, so starting with the things that you're thankful for, then there's a manifest destiny decree. And let's see. Okay, you've got the manifest destiny decree, and then you have your chief definite aim. Now, if you listen to Napoleon Hill, he talks a lot about developing a chief definite aim. And basically, a chief definite aim is your number one ideal person or thing that you want to accomplish in life. You condense that down into a statement, and you repeat that statement to yourself multiple times a day for however long you need to do it. You'd be surprised at how many successful people do that or some variation of it. I even learned not too long ago that, quit chewing on that. I even learned a little while ago that Bruce Lee had a copy of his chief definite aim that he would keep in his back pocket. And what I've done as far as my chief definite aim, I've programmed it into my phone so that when I get up, every 3 hours, an alarm comes on, and that notifies me of my chief definite aim. So I will recite that chief definite aim out loud, you know, consciously, and you know, feel it. I don't just repeat it. I say it with intention and with focus, and then I go on about my day. You know, so I'm using technology to aid in manifestation. You know, it's like saying daily affirmations. If you, I've done the research. You know, it's not woo woo, hocus pocus bullshit. All of this shit is like backed up by science. Like, uh, trust me, scientific shit right here. Okay, so I'm gonna read you an example of the manifest destiny decree. Now, this is different from the chief definite aim, but the decree is something that's made to be recited every morning before you get started working towards your project or your product or your YouTube channel or your business idea. All right, so it goes like this. Today I arise to plant my seeds of gratitude, purpose, and value. Wait a minute, let me start over. Today I arise to plant my seeds of gratitude, purpose, value, and goals. All right, I'm gonna have to clean this up. Anyway, I water and nourish the seeds with my intentions. My seeds of gratitude provide my life sustaining fruit of life. I rid the garden of my heart and mind of roots of fear, hate, and doubt before it takes root and damages my harvest. I am disciplined in thought, focus, and action. There is no time to waste. Whether it's true or not, I recite that to myself daily. Mind programming. It's like you watch the TV, same fucking commercials come on. What you gonna do? You gonna go get that burger that they've been popping up on your TV screen. That's mind programming. All right. Well, I reverse engineered it and using it to my benefit. One thing about a law, like a universal law, you don't have to be good or bad for it to work. You know, those are universal laws. It's like gravity. I don't give a fuck if you're the devil or Jesus. You jump up, you're gonna come back down. So those laws are applicable to everybody. Now, you can take those same laws and use them for good, or you can use them for bad. Same law, but what's the intention behind the use of that law? That's where, you start going directions with that. So there's laws upon laws upon laws, and all of these laws, you know, connect with others. It's just a brilliant tapestry of divine causes and effects that we'll never be able to fully understand. It's like the butterfly effect. If a butterfly flaps his wing in this room, there's somebody a half world away that's affected by the vibrations from the flap of that wing. It's that intricate. We have like ant minds when we try to think of how the Almighty Creator does things and can do things. So, take a chill and notice things that are around. As above, so below. We are, it's not like the universe is in me. It's like I am the universe inside of the universe. I'm getting a little too deep and metaphysical now, but let's see. Got my daily destiny worksheet, and I keep up with these daily destiny worksheets. This is like my journal or my log of my whole progress. The whole vision board that I've, done a ritual. I've basically consecrated this vision board into a, damn near like the Ten Commandment tablets or some shit. I've put intention into that thing. So I've empowered it. And a part of that is to keep records. So at the end of every day, I'll go through, I'll see if my objectives for the day were done. If I did, it's a good day. If I didn't, that day has to still be recorded, whether I did the work or not. Yesterday was one of those days that I slipped. Let me show you. Show you that I ain't bullshitting. Even got to keep a record of my fuck ups, because your fuck up's gonna remind you of why you didn't get what's on your vision board. This vision board is gonna tell the truth. If you work it the way that it's supposed to be worked, either you're gonna accomplish what's on that vision board. If you don't accomplish it, there's gonna be records to show why you didn't. All right, I thought I had marked. Missing a sheet somewhere. 20. 20. Maybe I got so mad at myself, I just threw the sheet away. Thank y'all for the likes. Anyway, y'all get the idea. Thank you for viewing too. Now we're gonna get back into some mind programming. In Hermetic teaching, the number one universal law states that all things are mind, or everything is mental. Everything starts in the mind. As a matter of fact, everything that's invisible is actually what reality is. When you look around, everything that you see, other than trees and stuff, everything that you see started in someone's mind. So that's the root, that's the basis, that's where seeds are planted, that's where seeds take root. A tree is going to bear fruit based off the seed that's planted. So with the vision board, there's a focus on planting the right kind of seeds, watering those seeds with your intention and your actions. You gotta have action. If you ain't got action, shit. You can shit in one hand and shit in a bucket and see which one fill up fast. I think I said that right. I don't know. Anyway, y'all get the picture. Now let's get on some motivational speaking. How many people out here got that 88B? Well, guess what? Use it as a superpower. Use it as a superpower. Like a lot of the billionaires, millionaires, yada yada, some of them knew how to manage, whether somebody told them or they were just lucky enough to find out, or their way of life was set up or structured in a way to where they could be extremely successful in their ADHD, or they could have been taking medication. You know, some people that take medication for ADHD, I've heard great things about it. You know, it really helps. I don't know. I've taken Adderall before, but Adderall is like, take that shit. You don't want to eat. I like to eat. It's you don't want to eat. Be feeling like a junkie. Junkie. Unless it's a weed junkie. Ain't that right, Scooby, scoot, scoot. Alright, yeah, let's get on some grim face.
Already being that version of yourself. Feel the certainty that it's done. Then carry that energy into everything. Speak from it. Walk with it. Make decisions as that version if you would. You're no longer asking, how do I get there? You're declaring, this is where I operate from now on. This phase is spiritual warfare. Because everything in your current environment will scream the opposite. Your bank account might laugh. Your job might...
What's up, new viewer? How you doing? I'm trying to get the sounds back on. How you doing tonight? Hope you're doing good. Getting ready to sound on. Go make me a cup of tea. Green tea mixed with black tea. Get started. I know my fucking. I'm using this old ass tablet. I should be using an iPhone for this. But I think it's working. See my little lights. Pardon the ghetto setup. But, 5 years ago, I was homeless. I really was. True story. No, not 5 years ago. 4 years ago. Yeah, 4 years ago, I was homeless. True story. Check my video. Living in a storage unit. Living in my car. Till I got fed up with society. Fed up within a relationship with a chick who basically was using me. And I said, fuck that shit. Busting my ass for this? Trying to keep up with the Joneses and them? Nah. Why is my video not playing?